All right. This past weekend, your team was able to execute a clean sweep by beating Emory and Rochester. Let's talk about the first game in which you beat Emory. Uh, Last time I talked to you, you mentioned that you expected this game to be a defensive struggle, and you don't expect your team to score 80 points again. They proved you wrong. So,
Prove me wrong. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game?
You know, I wasn't expecting it to go the way that it did. I think part of it was, we really struggled against Emory's pressure towards the end of the game the week prior to this past weekend, and really felt that they would come out and pressure us and try to pick up the pace a little bit, and they did that. And the difference was our kids responded and took care of the basketball. And if you're going to play a high risk defense, you're going to give up some layups. And I thought we did a really nice job of taking advantage of them in the press, and also I thought we got a lot of stops and forced some difficult shots, and so all of a sudden there were some long rebounds there, and I thought we did a good job on the boards. And our kids have been pretty good out in transition here in the last few weeks, and I thought that was our key to having the first half that we did on Friday night.
Okay. As a result of the huge lead, you were able to rest your stars for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Do you think that contributed to your fast start versus Rochester?
Sometimes you think about that in a Friday night game. You don't want to kill your kids because you got a game in 2 days. To be honest with you, what is this, Wednesday now? That was the first I even thought about that. Between that Friday to Sunday, not killing them that Friday night. But to be honest with you, I don't know how much that had to do with Sunday. I thought Sunday was just another case of our kids really coming out with there was a hunger in their belly, so to speak, on Sunday. That taste in their mouth from the prior week out at Rochester was still pretty bitter, and our kids weren't very happy last week, and I think that contributed to a good week of practice and contributed to them being very focused for that game on Sunday.
Well, that hunger was very apparent with establishing a 40-17 lead by halftime.
Yeah.
However, in the second half, your team was outscored by 14 points.
Yeah.
Is that a cause for concern?
Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, we had a 25-point lead during the first half, and I think as much as you don't want to settle, you don't want to play like you have a 25-point lead, sometimes it's harder to do, and I think part of that was on us. I don't think we played with that same intensity in the second half on Sunday, but a lot of that had to do with Rochester. They're a very proud team and a very good team, and I wasn't at all surprised with how they came out in that second half. And I think I leaned over to my assistants after those first two possessions and said, "This is going to be a dogfight." You could just tell the level of aggression that Rochester had coming out after the break. They weren't going to just whirl away. They were going to be there in the end.
This weekend, you were traveling on the road to face NYU and Brandeis. What are the scouting reports on both teams?
I guess it's been about a month since we've seen them. NYU very athletic, a very well coached team. They've got tradition on their side, and that's a tough environment to play in up at their place. And as far as the scouting report, you kind of are what you are at this point of the year, and I think they're a very good team, an athletic team, and we kind of are what we are. So it's just two teams going in there, and you play your game and see who's going to come out on top. There was a close game at our place last time. Got out to a little bit of a lead there in the second half, but they kind of battled back and made it a game. And obviously, it's a 10-point game, I think, that it was last time, and you can more than make up for that at home. So we know we're going to go into Friday night, assuming we can get out of here, go into a dogfight there on Friday night.
Okay. As it stands right now, your team is second in the UAA conference with a record of 7-2. It looks more and more likely that the final game versus WashU is going to probably determine the conference champion. How fun would that be?
It would be a lot of fun. In your hypothetical situation there, I think both Nancy and I know that there's a long way to go before that. And, I'm sure Brandeis is sitting there this weekend saying, all right, we're somewhat in the driver's seat too. If they win 2 games this weekend, then, they're tied for first place. So I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, already looking 2-3 weeks down the road. Your hypothetical would be a fun situation, but that's the furthest thing from my mind, to be honest with you. This is going to be a really, really tough road trip, and we're all fully aware of that.
All right, well, good luck.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.